Welcome to the conversation with Dr. Garraway. I am Dr. Andrea Garraway. This show is about relationship dynamics, and today's show features Thomas Deuce from the Kill Talk podcast. And our conversation is going to feature or emphasize a relationship with yourself. So, welcome, Thomas. Thanks for joining. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, thank you for having me, Dr. Garraway. So just so you know, because there's multiple shows and I know you're such a fan, so it's the Kill Talk Radio podcast. I'm sorry, Kill Talk Radio show, and then we have the Kill Love Kill Love podcast. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that I do with Larry Love, aka my brother Lawrence. It's hard to keep track, but it all centers around Kill Love. So if you want to catch me later, it's www.kill-love.com. You can find out all the places to support us and to check us out. And on that show, I am referred to as the Deuce. But, as you know, we go way back. So you can just call me Thomas.
Okay.
A little about me. Aside from my podcasting and internet radio show, I am an entrepreneur. I've been working for myself for quite some time. Officially became a company 2 years ago. I will be filing to be an official minority business owner. I have 2 more months that I can file officially, because that's about the time frame when I got the LLC done. Trying to think of what else I can say that's special about me. Oh, I coach Little League. It keeps, as you know, it keeps a lot of my time out there with either the young men and ladies who 12 and under, or the team that I head coach, which is the 13 to 15-year-olds in Northeast Hartford, the Little League. And I enjoy it very much so. And that's me. That's what I do most of my time. It's either working out in the gym, or playing baseball nowadays.
Gotcha. You got a lot on your plate, a lot to keep you busy.
A whole lot.
And when do you have time for dating, since that's what our conversation is going to surround, single life, dating life?
Not enough time for dating. It's tough. It's tough on the women I date who may find, hey, there's something about this guy. But I kind of rolling. So sometimes I am not finished until late in the evening, and I'm going from one thing to the next. I'll leave my place around 3 or 4 o'clock to go hit the gym, then go to practice, then go from practice to get something to eat, do Godfather duties, and then come home and it's late. So it kind of makes it dating difficult, but I try to squeeze in time here and there so I can have a life, and maybe on a day off or things of that nature. But there's been some very understanding people, and some people, understandably couldn't hang, at least not in the beginning stages of a relationship. So that makes it tough. Because of course, in the beginning stage of a relationship, you want to take the time to get to know somebody, to know if you're wasting your time or not, and to move on or whatnot. So, and honestly speaking, sometimes I have the energy to pursue women in that time frame, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes, like, I wanted to call you, but I've been busy. Or I see you called on my Apple Watch, but I'm throwing baseballs, I'm running down fly balls, or whatever I'm doing. And then so that takes away from the regular dating game.
Yeah. That's a lot to be able to manage the work-life balance that is chaotic as is, and then that relationship life balance that's on top of everything else. Tell me, what is the most frustrating part about being single?
For me, the most frustrating part about being single is not having a go-to partner. Who you can share your ups, your downs, your successes, your failures. You can bounce things off of. of course, there's the physical, but I we can spend a lifetime talking about the physical. Let's talk about, the emotional part is, like I said, it's just having somebody who's is in your corner and who you're in their corner and supporting them. And sometimes, you need you want to give somebody a high five, and sometimes you need a shoulder to lean on, cry on, whatever. And it can be difficult not having somebody who's in your corner that way. So I would say that would be the most frustrating part. But you learn to self-sustain, and lean on friends somewhat, and go from there.
Yeah. So it's not having that consistent person that is going through life journey with you.
Absolutely. Having a consistent person who is a positive in your life, not just having somebody, but having a positive person in your life is helpful. It's extremely helpful, and it's a blessing. Fortunately, I don't have that blessing per se at the moment, but it's okay. I'm gonna drop my number at the end of the show.
How do you manage feelings of maybe sadness or loneliness that's inherent with being single?
So I think feelings of sadness and loneliness happen in a cycle. I don't know when they're coming. They will pop up here and there. I think staying busy, staying active, staying busy in my business, staying active with my hobbies, my interests outside of my business, such as coaching, help steer those feelings away. Hanging out with friends and family. But we're all human. Those things come. Sometimes you're laying in the bed at night, and you wish you had a partner that you can trust that was right along with side of you. And sometimes you just got to deal. Sometimes you put on the music and just go to sleep, and that's that. Sometimes I've done it, and I know other people who've done it. You take those times and you make new friends. You make new, possible dating partners. You go through that dating cycle again, just to see who's out there. Maybe somebody who can fit with me. Yeah. But that's a dice game, and I guess if I had rolled the dice correctly, or as a winner, I wouldn't be having this how do I survive being single conversation with.
Yeah, so I guess using some of that self-sustaining, self-coping that you mentioned before help you kind of get through the loneliness and the sadness of the cycles that comes with that.
Yeah.
I'm sure COVID didn't help. What are some challenges do you experience now meeting someone in the COVID era? Like, is dating even the same? Like, what does that look like now?
COVID dating was different. Some folks had different levels of responsibility. For some folks would express that, hey, they want to know. I would say one thing on the couple of dating sites, they allow you to put, you're vaccinated. So I think that helps say something about you, that, hey, you care about yourself and maybe the other person who you might be seeing, but not to say that folks who aren't vaccinated don't care. It's just, I feel like that's what I'm saying about me. I think it required you to be a little more cautious and hesitant about who you were with. I also think it involved some people, they were being funny, and others were being serious. Like, hey, I'm looking for somebody who will go into quarantine with me, who I can trust. Like, okay, you're going to wear a mask and you're not going to be around anybody else. And I'm going to wear a mask and I'm not going to be around anyone else. Yeah. And kind of we'll be like winter bed buddies, except for the 20. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except for it was a long COVID winter that lasted about a year.
Right. Yeah. So the challenges that came up with meeting people face to face, people are not maybe sharing their status. People didn't want to cohabitate in that way. Like how did you date even?
You know what? I found that there were pockets of people who still didn't mind dating traditionally. Yes, you had to find different activities because the restaurants, the movies, the bars,
The go-tos weren't available.
the go-to. So you had to be creative. Maybe to go to the park, go for a walk. I like to hike. Maybe go work out, outdoor workout, of course. I know people dated through Zoom. I think that was one benefit is as folks are doing more FaceTime and things like that. So it allowed you to get to know the person better prior to meeting them. So you have more in common to talk about, more things that you can discuss. You kind of have a better feel for them. And you also have a better feel with like, no, I'm not going past this. This is it. And I've had it done to me, and I've done it to other people. You know, we knew like, nah, this not a match. Almost like the dating game.
Yeah, I get it. You know, it's interesting the conversation that you're sharing about finding that person. I'm wondering, what are some things you are focusing on for yourself while waiting on your person?
For me, for myself. I'm trying to be a homeowner, as you know. Working through that process, I found me a house I'm gonna buy. Thank you. Many years coming. Continue to grow my business. Be better. I'm getting better shape for me, but also for my future partner and any family that may come from it. I'm just being healthy so I can live longer. I'm continuing to learn, continue to grow as a person, because somebody who I meet in the future will enjoy those things about me, I think.
Okay, for sure. What would you say is a good time to enter therapy? Now, while you're on your own doing the single thing, or when you found your person?
So therapy. I think as soon as you start thinking about whether or not I should go to therapy, it's probably about time you should at least pick up and have a conversation. I think if you're going to go through any big life changes, and dating doesn't necessarily mean a life change, but if the relationship is going to get serious, if you guys are going to move in together, if you're going to get married, just have a third ear, an ear that you can trust. So you might want to find a therapist that you're comfortable with now. So that way you can have open and honest discussions later down the line. I think any big shift. I know COVID has hurt a lot of people in a sense that it was very difficult to be alone or alone in this manner. I know people gained weight, lost friends, lost family, dealt with it different ways, had trouble with work, depending on the type of work you did. So it's a lot of stress, a lot of new stressors, different stresses out there. And I think that if you need an ear that is not opinionated, that can help you and who's trained in the art of talking to you. And sometimes your family and friends are good to talk to. And sometimes they're just going to reinforce the negatives in your head, or sometimes they're not going to give you the best of advice. Maybe it's not as taboo anymore to seek professional help. You don't have to be at the extremes of mental health in order to speak to a psychiatrist or therapist nowadays, I believe.
Yeah, you're spot on. I am part of this mission to make therapy cool. Let's just make therapy cool. Think about therapy as getting your oil change every X amount of miles or whatever when you meet that date. It's almost preventative. You don't want to wait until you need like your carburetor changed or like your engine switched out or something before you make this big investment. But if you keep your car up, if you keep it tuned and your oil change and that kind of things, then you kind of have the longevity of your car much longer. You could probably resell it, trade it in, or whatever. Like you want to be able to take care of what you have. And that's you. You only get one of you. You want to be able to take care of your psyche, right? So, yeah.
So, Dr. Garraway, I would actually add in that I would say 2 or 3 women who I've dated over the last year and a half, were honest about seeing and going to therapy, either currently or in the past. So I think that's a wonderful thing where we can be honest about it. You don't have to be on the verge of going to a psych ward to
right. All right. Like there is no crisis looming, and because that's what people do, especially couples. They wait until when their relationship is in crisis before they go seek out a therapist. What if you go check in on some maintenance that you could avoid uh, possible hardships coming down the road that could be inevitable? You can avoid it. All right. Asking you this because I think it's interesting to kind of switch the conversation a little bit. Dating can be tricky, and appreciating the single life can be as difficult as seeing the forest through trees. So, how do you appreciate this stage of your life?
How do I appreciate this stage of my life?
Yeah.
Oh, now you didn't ask the question that I'm not ready for.
Yeah, like I mean, there is joy here. There's abundance here. There is lots of prosperity. You have a lot of positive things going on that you are almost looking for a compliment to where you are, not something else, right? So, are you prepared to answer the question?
You know what? I'm not prepared to answer the question, but I will happily say, I'm taking it a day by day. Taking every little joy, every opportunity to enjoy life. I will say that what you knew, we was going to start a little bit earlier, as we had planned to start a little bit earlier, but my godson, who's 8, about to be 9 years old, called me up, said, "My friends aren't here. I am bored. I have nothing to do. Can you take me to the batting cages?" And I'm exhausted. He woke me up out of a nap. It took me about an hour to get out the house, but I drove over to his house, picked him up, and we went out to the baseball field and we threw the ball. He pitched the ball to me. He got a chance to hit a couple of the teenagers on my team. Magically wound up at the field. And they said, "Coach, why didn't you tell us you were going to be here?" And I said, "I knew you were going to be here. I had a feeling." And we all played together. There was 5 of us. We played around. We threw the ball. We had a good time. And part of the reason, even though I was tired, part of the reasoning that I went was because I know that he's only going to be 8 or 9 once. He's not going to get me every day. And he's excited about something, which is baseball. And I wanted to make him happy, and that made me happy. So he was ecstatic. He got to get off the TV, which he didn't really want to watch, which is crazy for a lot of kids, getting off TV, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, what have you. And he wanted to go outside and play. So I was happy to do that for him. And we went outside, and the worst thing that happened is, around 8 o'clock, the mosquitoes came out and they bit me 3 times, but it happened.
Well, you survived it.
I survived it, a little swole here and there, but I survived it.
Yeah. As you've alluded throughout the conversation, we know each other, and definitely proud to say that I know you. And I want for you to know that you're not single. You're a whole album. You're an amazing person. The light that's within your heart, the charitable nature, the willingness to get up out of your bed to go play with your nephew, your godson, sorry.
Okay, he calls me Uncle Deuce, so it's fine.
That's where I got it from, right? So yeah, just that gift inside of you, and you waiting for your partner to come and compliment the amazing man that I know. All right. We'll pause our conversation here. If there are ladies that are interested in having a conversation with you,
we going there for real?
Yeah, maybe personally or professionally. How do people get in contact with you?
So I'll go both ways. So my business is Hamilton Business Technology Consulting, which is www.hambtc.com.
Mm-hmm.
I am a consultant. I sell business to business. I sell phone, internet, cybersecurity, things of that nature, all types of business technology, website, SEO work. Oh man, there's so much here, and I'm because I'm trying to think of it all at once.
Yeah.
If you need help with setting up software programs, things of that nature, call centers, security, regular security as well, my company can assist in finding you the right vendors for your business.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the Deuce, which is my nickname, instead of calling me Junior, I work with Kill Love Media Group, which is started and host and founded by my brother, L Boogie / Lawrence Mabry, and which is www.kill-love.com. And they can catch me either place. Yes, I don't recommend calling my business line for personal relationships, but no. I mean, drop me an email, and that way at least I can get to it when the time is appropriate. When I pick up my business line, I'm expecting a customer or a client or a prospective client to say what their needs are. So we're not going to turn my business phone into the dating hotline, but you can drop me an email. You can hit me on LinkedIn. You can get my DMs on Twitter.
There's multiple ways of getting in contact with you.
Right. We don't have to use the bat phone.
Gotcha. Yeah, so mine's and Thomas's information is going to be in the description box. We'll get all of the links and the access so you can get in contact with him. This conversation with Dr. Garraway featured a single individual who have a healthy, prosperous relationship with himself and is looking forward to finding a mate. So we will probably circle back to him to see when he meet his shorty, meet his lady, and see how his relationship is going. But until then, that's it for now. We'll catch you in the next conversation. Bye-bye.